Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Well, there's actually going to be two, only one in this video, but I'm going to do one straight after as well. And it's two beers out of the Beer Journey Beer Hawk box that I got from the Crate Escape up in Huddersfield. Now the box should have been, well, I don't know what it should have been, probably about 50 quid, something like that. But clearly they're getting rid of sort of like the Beer Hawk stock, if you like, because the Beer Hawk page is now gone. It's actually perfect draft. So anyway, yeah, two beers out of that, cost me 16 quid. I think it was 20 beers and 4 gifts, 16 quid. So these beers coming at about 75p each. There's no way you're going to pick them sort of beers up 75p. So I'm going to tell you now what we've actually got. So the two beers that will be coming up is going to be Leffe Blonde and Leffe Ombre, which is Leffe Amber. But we'll put the Ombre to one side because I'll be doing that after. So the first beer we're going to be looking at is Leffe Blonde. It's in a 330ml bottle and it's coming in at a big old 6.6% ABV. Now this is a foreign bottle because all the writing on the back is in foreign. Nuances, subtils of vanilla, and saying about vanilla and that on the taste and all that. That's all I can make out. But yeah, we're going to be looking at that first. It's just come out of the fridge. It's probably at about 5 degrees, something like that. So there's the Leffe branding that we all know and love. We've got the old blonde sort of foil on top. Now I've had both of these beers actually on perfect draft. Leffe Blonde is really good, not one of my favourites, but still an enjoyable drink. And the Amber I was a little bit disappointed with. Again, a nice enough drink, but found it a little bit boring. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get from these two beers. I'm not sure if they're going to be different from the kegs, but certainly some of the beers that I've had out of the box so far have certainly been better, I would say, than the PD kegs, in my opinion. So yeah, let's get it cracked open. Now they're only small bottles. That's the 330, this is the 250, so I'm just going with a little 250 glass. Can't be asked to get a pint left glass, otherwise these beers are going to look lost. So let's get them cracked open and see what we get, starting with the Leffe Blonde. Plenty of smoke on the opening, did pop. Hopefully this is going to be lovely. It's fully expected to be. It'd be interesting to see if it's different as well. And I think with it being that little bit colder, the way the weather is today, because it's a warm day today, hopefully it's going to suit the beer fine. It's a beer in a glass, there we go. There's not really any bubbles going up. It's not a nucleated glass, it's only a cheap glass. It's sort of golden amber in colour, and we've got a finger of compact white head. So yeah, I mean, it's in a different glass, but it just looks like a typical sort of Leffe. So let's dive in on the nose and see what we pick up. More of a malty nose from what I remember of the PD one, certainly. Malty, yeasty, a little bit sweet. A little bit of caramel maybe. The maltiness is sort of like got a little bit of an animal feed sort of maltiness to it. A little bit of banana, giving it a bit more of a swirl. But it doesn't smell as sweet. It certainly smells maltier than the PD version of this beer, and it doesn't smell as sweet. Has the light gone? We've got to turn the thing around. Can you see me again? I don't know. Is that any better? I don't know. Anyway, let's dive in. Leffe Blonde out the bottle. Cheers. Okay, for me, slightly different flavour for me, and a nicer flavour. Body wise, I'm going to say it's thinner. It's not a bad body, but it certainly feels that little bit lighter, less sweeter. Less sweeter in a certain way, but it does have a bit of a sugary back end to it. Definitely more carbonated than the PD one. Like I say, I think it's a little bit lighter. Mouth feels not as smooth. as what you get on draft. No, there's definitely more carbonation, which just roughens the mouthfeel up a little bit. On the taste, a lot more of a maltier beer, and I quite like that to it. It's got a lot more maltiness to it, and I like that. It's got a, I said it's not a sweet. It's got a different sweetness to it. The sweetness is just as powerful, I think. I think this has got more of a sugar feel, sweetness to it. It feels like, I don't know, to me, maybe someone's put a spoonful of sugar in it. It's got that sort of sugary feel to it. Not too overpowering, don't get me wrong. Malty, sugary sweet, a little bit fruity, a little bit of caramel maybe. .6%. Again, I don't think you really get it with this one. Don't think you really get it. But is it any good, and how good is it? I mean, look at that. I've just given that a swirl and that's built up lovely. So the beer is decent, but I'm going to say it doesn't feel as good as the PD one. For me, a lighter body lets it down. For me, that sugary sweetness lets it down. The mouthfeel isn't as smooth because it's well carbonated. Pardon me. But it's still a decent drinking experience, and would I recommend anyone drinking it? Absolutely. Like I say, this is, see, it's saying vanilla on the bottle for me. And I guess that, yeah. Yeah, maybe, I mean, maybe that's where the sweetness sort of comes in. I'm getting that sort of caramel, that sort of sugary sweetness. Maybe it's that bit of a vanilla feel to it. But anyway, would I recommend anyone picking it up? Absolutely. I think it's a different beer to what we get over here, for definite. It certainly feels it anyway. There's definitely a difference there. Is it better than what we get in bottles over here? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's going to depend on your taste, really. Because I think the bottles pretty much do taste as what, you know, what we get in the perfect draft, whereas this is very different. So it's a different drinking experience. I think I prefer the standard Leffe blonde that we get over here, but this is still a decent drop, and certainly for what I paid for it, which is about 75 pence, you're never going to argue, are you? So they're my thoughts on this beer. If you've had this Leffe blonde, and like I say, I think this is a Belgian one. It's a different bottle because it's all foreign on the back, and it says things on here that I've never noticed on any other bottle. So yeah, if you've had this one, let me know what you think. If you've had it and have had this, the English sort of one that we get, let me know what you think compared the two. If you've had all the ones on the PD, whatever you've had, let me know what you think anyway. So that's it for this beer review. I'm going to end it there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with Leffe Amber any minute now.